What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy DJ Kuda right back at the helm of today's show. We're going over the 4 phases that destroy the Black Manosphere today as we know it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Thank you guys for subscribing. And I know you guys are going to support today's show. You can support today's pre-record at $PTV 888. That's $PTV 888. Without further ado, let's get into it. So have you noticed that YouTube, especially Black YouTube, especially the Black Manosphere, has been caught in a chokehold? As a matter of fact, the Black Manosphere is no more. I mean, with the exceptions of the older crowd that, hasn't gotten the push that it needed. And they're still doing the same thing and talking about the same topics when you found them. The younger crowd bringing in dumb movements and not really going anywhere, and the conversation not progressing anywhere past talking about women, and basically handheld conversations where you still got to talk about dating, not even real conversations about relationships and things of that sort. And the funny part is that a lot of dudes that have done irreparable damage to the space are married cats. You got a lot of married cats in the space. Not all of them are bad, but the majority of them have caused damage. You got women in the space. Not all of them are bad, but the majority of them has caused damage. So keep in mind later on when I get into some of the things that I'm talking about. But we're talking about the 4 phases that I've talked about years ago, and I've predicted all of this happening that it was going to take to destroy the Manosphere. So phase number 1, get the guys to fight. Now that's pretty easy because guess what? Dudes are going to fight over philosophy. Dudes are going to fight over a lot of things. But one thing I've noticed that dudes will 100% fight over, and it doesn't matter if they agree with every single thing. Dudes can agree with each other 90% of the time until you talk about women, and for the most part until you talk about how to get said women, or strategy, methods, and plans, and how you're going to execute, if you execute, The Manosphere gets the charge of having incels and all these dudes that can't get women for some reason, yet dudes talk about women all day. And you got all these smart, eclectic, advanced dudes, but they can't figure out women. And one of the problems that I pointed out is that they go after hoes. You know what I'm saying? So number 1 is not going to be hard to do because it's going to happen anyway. So speaking of women, phase number 2 is to bring in women that will create more fights. If dudes are already fighting over women, then bringing in women to create more fights is going to be super easy, because dudes are going to start picking sides. They're going to pick their favorites. Women in the space can't do nothing wrong, even if they've done everything wrong. And what's going to happen is that dudes are going to start to want to hear from women more than men, even if it's a male space and the topics are centered around helping men, which the space is supposed to be helping modern men and men in general. But it's helped more women than it has helped the men. It's feeding more women than it has fed men. Also, women being in the space belittles the cause. So then what else is going to happen is phase number 3. Introduce new types and co-ed creators. You have a lot of co-ed panels that's going on. You also have a lot of people, belittling, philosophy. Not even talking about Manosphere philosophy. You have new movements like the 4B movement, and you have new movements like the soft guy era, and you have all of these different movements that's coming into the space, which will in return start bringing more women and gay men into the space, which brings me into phase number 4. Introduce the LGBT into the space. And then death. Peace.